Do pro wrestlers need to change their look every 6 months? That's next on Till We Make It. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. Right here on my channel, I make videos for fellow professional wrestlers at every single stage of their career. And I do this because when I was starting out, I didn't have a mentor to guide me, nor did I have a coach to teach me. And I do think that lack of access to veteran wisdom and knowledge and experience played a significant role in my failure to achieve my ultimate career goal. And I don't want to see the same thing happen to you. That's why Till We Make It is here. And if you're down with that, go on, join the Till We Make It tribe. Subscribe down below, do all those YouTube engagement things, leave a like a palooza, drop something down below in the comments, or if you want to take your support and participation to the next level, consider joining my community over on Patreon, where you'll get access to an exclusive video each and every week, as well as excerpts from my books, podcasts, public speaking engagements that I've done, class recordings, and tons more starting for as little as $5 a month. Today, I want to take a really hard look at a bit of conventional wrestling wisdom and point out what it gets right as well as what it gets wrong. It was quite some time ago that I first heard it said in a locker room that a professional wrestler should change up their look every 6 months. And if what we are meant to derive from this is that every 6 months or so you should swap the colors on your gear or dye your hair, maybe try out a beard for a while if you're capable of growing a beard, those kinds of changes, well, I like that. I agree with that. However, to completely throw out your old look and reinvent yourself every 6 months, I disagree with that. I think that is a mistake because it will prevent you from ever cementing an iconic appearance in the minds of fans. There's certainly nothing wrong with talking about this, but I think it would help to see it. So, as an example, let's take a look at an image that was constantly refreshed, but in a way that did not impede the establishment of an iconic look. Okay, here we see a gradual evolution of Bret the Hitman Hart's iconic look. We can see that the pink and black colors are sometimes swapped on his gear, but he still wears a singlet top throughout the years. There's no point where he just changes from long tights to short little trunks. There's no point where he shaves his hair into a mohawk. He has fresh gear every few months, and even fresh presentation gear. For example, look, his entrance jacket changes, but at no point does it become unrecognizable. His sunglasses change too, and yet Bret Hart remains instantly identifiable. By making small changes to his look over months and years, he's constantly refreshed while cementing what we all now think of as his iconic appearance. Let's take a look at another Canadian example. Here are some distinctly different looks of Chris Jericho. I think you'll agree, these are wildly different looks pulled from different wrestling organizations, and in each of these, Jericho has completely reinvented his appearance. Can you imagine if this degree of change was happening every 6 months? If Jericho took to heart the arbitrary idea of change your look every 6 months, and he went from this first image to the Clockwork Orange look to this more current appearance right now in a row, none of these would have really lasted long enough to cement themselves. This is an intriguing example because Jericho's career has endured for so long. He's gone through massive shifts. For example, when he's a top player in New Japan, that allowed for a complete reinvention of his look. But these reinventions did not occur every 6 months. They are synonymous with giant career shifts across decades, not across a few months. In my opinion, to interpret the idea that a pro wrestler needs to change their look every 6 months to mean that You should refresh your gear in some way every 6 months or so, provided that you have the resources to do it, is a fine interpretation. But you don't want to make a change that is so drastic it leaves the audience saying, wait a minute, who is that guy? You still want to remain instantly identifiable. In addition to which, refreshing your gear every 6 months will help you avoid falling into the trap of being stuck wearing gear which has started to look worn, color washed, or even ratty. You don't want that. You want to go out with a clean presentation so you look like a total pro. I think there's nothing wrong with changing the way you style your hair every 6 months, or swapping 2 of your trademark colors, going from red with gold detail to gold with red detail, just as examples. But remember, it took Bret Hart years to cement his iconic appearance in the mind of wrestling fans. That could have never been accomplished if he was radically altering his look every 6 months. Having said as much, remember that a complete reinvention also serves a certain purpose. Think of those vastly different looks of Chris Jericho that we examined. Each of those reinventions has become synonymous with one era of his long-tenured career. It makes it easy to differentiate what he's doing in New Japan from what he's doing in AEW. But if he had deployed that level of change rapid-fire style just 6 months after each other, well, none of them would have lasted long enough to really become memorable, let alone iconic. In short, I think small changes every 6 months or so can be positive. They refresh your appearance, but complete reinventions of your look, they need to be reserved for massive shifts in your career trajectory. That's what I think. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think is the right amount of time to wait between character reinventions? Or is it not time dependent whatsoever in your mind? Must it be predicated upon a big shift in career? Or is it specific to each wrestler? What do you think? Tell me below down in the comments. I do want to mention this. This is the 350th Till We Make It video. Now granted, not all of them are available here on YouTube. More than 50 of them are exclusive that you can only see over on Patreon. Nevertheless, this is video number 350. And when I started this project, in my mind, although I never said it out loud, I thought 48. That's the number of videos I'm going to be able to make for this, and then I'm just going to run out of things to say. And here we are, video number 350. So whether you just got on board or you've been with me since the very beginning, thank you. And I also just want to call out a couple of my patrons. Thanks so much to some of the newest to join me over on Patreon, like Ivan and Pikio, and to some who've been with me for quite some time. Ace and Andrew and Andreas and Alex of the Cool Shirt Wearing Village. To each and every one of you, thanks a lot. I wouldn't be here still doing it if it weren't for you.